So, you think you like ants more than me, huh? Fool. Now you've unleashed my darkness doorway to the shadow realm of hyperfixations. I'm the 3-time reigning ant-hugging champion and you dare to approach me? The demon soul surge within me grants me 10 times the power. And I truly am too powerful for this plane of existence. I must find a way to temper my limitless Event Horizon Starstorm power. It's just too much for this measly website to hold. Maybe in another world, in another time, but for now, I must walk the Godslayer's path alone on it. You understand me perfectly. One furtive glance upon the inky black wall of my pestilent soul will be enough to draw golden tears from the glistening eyes of the most dauntless angel. Mine is a husk so vile and putrid as to call forth 1,000 more hell streets of eternal. That's good, because love is the weak. No one could hope to match the volatile cocktail of absolute self-loathing and complete narcissism that brews in the recesses of my mind, roiling out into my psyche like the tendrils of a mentally ill kraken, hell-bent on taking out the Finally, it's time for me to give you my 32-page essay on why Homestuck is the best isekai. Let's break it down into sections. In Chapter 1, Part 2, Subsection C3, I'll begin by explaining how the Sperm system works, which will act as a guideline for when we get into class. So check this out. The thing people don't really realize about medieval sieges is that it was less about the battle itself and more about attrition, cutting off supply lines and starving them out, you know? One thing that was pretty wild was how they would sometimes strap bodies. Surfing out of the sky again, I am unbound and free to talk at you. Which is good, because I was just thinking about how wild it is that many insects breathe through spiracles and what that would mean for bipedal, roughly human-sized chitinous creatures. I mean, assuming gravity, spiracles are breathing holes on the bodies of bugs, and some fish, I think. Chitinous just means an exoskeleton, more or less. It's a material you collect in Ark when taking down giant ants, scorpions, spiders, etc. The problem with an exoskeleton when it comes to a typical— Glad you noticed. This gives me a chance to explain the basics of the hemo spectrum to you. See, the way it works is that it's split up into 11 different social strata, depending on blood color, 12 if you count the mutant blood shared by the Vandals line. Starting from the long— Well, actually, that depends on if they said the word purple or violet. See, in the case of the hemo spectrum, there's actually multiple hues toward the end of the troll society, which vastly differ in social hierarchy and cultural customs, depending on which side of those two come. The era of Ruru is over. You will address me by my proper title, Thistleclaw Thornbane the Destroyer. He who has conquered both cat and dog alike. The one heralded by the 1,000 rancorous hell songs of the Deep Ones. Ere the rise of the full moon, I will ascend to my I am just out of words for how good your rendering is. Like the folds on the pants tucked into the boots, the leather twists on my ankle, the light refraction in the eyes, the set, the chains, the expression. You bring such beautiful art into such an undeserving world. 40,000 of you lemmings just dove directly onto the railroad tracks here at Rose Junction. I have no idea what will possess you to file into the vast, grimdark trenches of my limitless levels of stupidity, but I guess it's only right that I hold a parade at the proverbial— thanks. Hot damn, this goes so hard! The ivory coat with the dangling belts, the shades of purple and red in the hair, the rendering is so good that I'm losing my mind! I love this outfit so much, it's the perfect blend between my usual wear and a modern look. How is this even Oh, thank God. I'm safe enough from the ravages of time. I'm certain this won't come back to bite me in the ass as some sort of temporal punishment for the arrogance of assuming I can avoid the inevitable torment of entropy's unbiased hand, delivering a level justice without the— What? Wait, I have to be ready to stream in less than 6 hours. I guess time really does flow on endlessly, like an underwater current that swirls us past the caverns of memory. Small pockets of our lives where we can emerge from the swirling pitch into an alien place of breath and luck. Good call, but unfortunately it doesn't fit. I will not rest until I live to see a day in which I can let my words cry out ceaselessly to the vast spaces of the internet. I swear upon my good name that I will create a reality in which I can speak freely, cross your wide left— Okay, I'll keep this short for those of us in the live studio audience who are working with used cars and Dome, if you know what I mean. You know, the people who have to pull their thoughts over every few miles because the engine's making noises again. So, troll romance goes like— Not right now, Sarah! I'm talking about my cool cats! I'm back to the wriggling fingers of the sweatiest basement-dwelling bug rider that ever plagued this world with his stink-ridden code, where you will swirl eternally in the toilet of irrelevance like the digital tick. You will face the creeping slow death of my poison and run away build. In your final moments, you will weep for death's sweet release while your body withers beneath the trickling stream of 1 damage per 3 seconds. It will be the most agonizing 30-minute duel in Elden— This was perhaps the most beautiful journey my eyes have ever been taken on, like a tour de force roller coaster of life-changing art after life-changing art. I've come out of this a changed man, a better man, ready to turn my life around and dedicate myself to the pursuit of—
You're gonna know my name.